Hi class, I'm going to talk to you a little about the annotated bibliography assignment that is due next week. Students consistently seem to have problems understanding what this assignment is. The handout that is here on the screen right now is also in the assignment folder for this week. And so in addition to looking at the library orientation video and completing the quiz, I want you to look over this. So here is some helps. You can read this through. I want to show you two things down here. This is an example of a Turabian reference. I want you to look at a couple of things here. One is, unlike APA, the person's name, the first name is spelled out, and you have, this is a bibliography style reference. The surname comes first, or the last name comes first. Here is the title of the article. Human Reproduction is a journal it's in, and I know that's a journal because right after it follows the journal number 26. This is issue number 6, published in June 2011. It appears on page 1495 to 1500. This is where I accessed it. This last thing right here, see these letters right here, DOI. That does not stand for Department of Interior. It stands for Digital Object Identifier. It's sort of like a call number, and if you copy and paste this into your browser, it will take you to this article. So that's a Turabian style reference. I want to show you a couple of things about Turabian. I've just scanned a couple of pages of the book. First, this is Chapter 17. It's a very important chapter. You should look at Chapter 16 too, because Chapter 16 gives the general forms for references. But this gives different example types. So here we have journal articles, and Turabian is organized by rule number. You can see that the journal author's name, there's a discussion of examples of that in Rule 17.2.1, and examples of journals go all the way through 17.2.6. But look, there are other things here as well, other kinds of sources, additional types of published sources, unpublished sources, webs, blogs, social networks, discussion groups, public documents, and other things like that. This is actually the page from the Turabian manual where it begins to talk about how to cite journal articles. And down here you see how to cite a journal article. This is actually what the N means footnote. So this is what the footnote should look like in your paper. And B stands for bibliography, a bibliographic entry. This is on your reference page. And here's how this works. Now you notice there's some differences between the two. Now look at the details here. Then over here is some more examples as well. So take a look at Chapter 17. When you do the annotated bibliography assignment, I am expecting that you will follow the examples in the Turabian guide. Now it's true that they are formatted. If you go into an EBSCO database and hit the cite button, it will show you how to cite them, but it's your responsibility to be sure all the details of Turabian are correct. Notice also this weird formatting. This is called a hanging indent format. See how it's indented over right here? Here's the way you do that. I'll just go up to this paragraph to give you an example. We go here, we highlight the paragraph, then we go to Home. Okay, I go over here in Word to Paragraph. I hit this little arrow right here, and it brings this page up. Now notice under indentation right here it says None, because that's a block form paragraph. So I could hit Indent First Line, or I could do Hanging Indent. So hanging indent is what we want to choose. That's what the references should look like. I say OK, and it pops it. See that? So it's just like this one now. If you try to tab over, it will drive you nuts on your reference page. It's a lot easier just to highlight everything and make it all hanging indent. Let me undo that. So that's the hanging indent format. And then down here is the actual annotation. And if you know from looking at this description, the annotation is a summary of the source describing how it fits into your research paper. This is an important point. If one of your references is the Statistical Abstracts of the United States. That's a 2,500-page document. It would do you no good to summarize a whole thing, but what you want to do is, in at least 3 sentences, talk about how maybe the one part of the Statistical Abstracts of the United States informs your paper. Maybe it's a table, maybe it's a section of that. So you're talking about doing these as contributing to your paper, contributing to informing your hypothesis. It can even be a building block for the text you do in the final paper. The annotated bibliography assignment is also, I put it in the course for people who procrastinate, so that I know that early in the course you are reading sources. So I'm holding you accountable to get in there and read at least 10 sources. Now the final copy of your paper needs to have at least 16 sources, but 10 is just to get you started. I hope you'll have more by the end of the term. Hope you benefited from this video.